They also said not to use professional recording equipment, but
we're going to do that too.
we do what the hell we want to.
What's up, everybody? My name is Adam, and I'm the host of the UKnowAdamTsang podcast, the show that is dedicated on bringing on passionate people, learning about their stories, and delivering value to entrepreneurs. So if that's what you're interested in, go ahead and follow, like, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome back to the UKnowAdamTsang podcast. I'm your host this evening, Jim Walker. I'm here today with Adam. And what we've got going on today is something kind of special. So we're going through the process of applying for I guess we shouldn't say it because it might.
No, we should just say it.
Should say it. We're applying for the TV show Buy It Now. I think it's on Amazon.
I think it's created by Amazon.
Created by
Amazon. Because
Amazon.
Amazon owns everything at this point.
That's true. We our Lord
our
Lord Bezos. Lord Bezos, please bless us with your shining presence and continue to allow the sun to rise every morning. But yeah, so we're preparing for this is kind of some prep work for our audition video for that, for Buy It Now. And what we thought was we would just kind of go through the prompt and just kind of answer it organically, and then we would use that to kind of shape our script. And that way we they kept saying like, hey, don't put any effort into this.
But
that's
as
not how we do.
Yes, at all. Like zero.
Yeah.
We always put in.
We
effort.
always put in way too much effort. That's how
unnecessary effort.
We are extra as fuck.
So I guess I need to talk a little bit about how we got here.
Yeah.
So I have a good friend, Matthew. He is the founder of Ox Socks.
Oh, that's coming from him. Okay.
Yeah, so he's just been, ever since we got on a podcast together.
Yep. Previously on the Adam Tsang.
Yeah, you can go check out his episode here. Ding! But, he's a great friend, great guy. And really, what we kind of like went for was we kept in touch. And he recently reached out to me saying that, hey, like there's this casting director that's casting a new show. And then, made introductions. A couple of days ago, spoke to her and found out that they are launching the show as a recreation of the UK version.
Oh,
so I don't know if you know this, but, Shark Tank
yeah.
is actually, there's another show called Dragon's Den.
Oh, okay.
And that was made in the UK. And I don't know if it was the UK one first and then Shark Tank.
I don't know.
But Shark Tank is the one that is absolutely super
Huge.
popular.
Yeah. Well, it's in America.
Do you need to answer that?
I was going to Google it. I was gonna look up who was first.
No, check it out.
Shark Tank or Dragon's Den.
I've seen a few episodes. Of course, I'm not as familiar with the entrepreneurs on that side, but we all know how popular Shark Tank is. In fact, I think it's one of my dreams to still get on that show. In fact, one of the questions I had was whether or not it would hurt our chances at being on Shark Tank if we were to do this show.
Right.
But, I think at the end of the day, sales is sales.
Well,
right?
I think it's also I'm not intimately familiar with Buy It Now. I haven't actually watched an episode yet, but
I glanced at one,
you
but
did.
go first.
The impression that I get is that Buy It Now is much more of like, hey, here's our product, go buy it, please. And Shark Tank is really all about like, getting one of the sharks to invest.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I think they're actually very different companies or different setups, right? Like what you're trying to get out of it is fundamentally different.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people have gone on Shark Tank solely for the marketing benefit, right? And they'll just refuse all the offers from the sharks because they're really just there to be on TV.
Exposure, yeah.
For the exposure. But from what I understand of Buy It Now is it's much more about getting you the exposure. Yeah. And I haven't obviously, I don't know. What was your interpretation?
So, I did a little bit of research because that's what AdamTsang does. And what I found was the show structure is they are pitching to a live audience.
Yep.
During this live audience pitch, each of the live audience members, there's this light structure behind them that is like a neutral color.
Right.
As the pitch is happening, either people click Buy It Now and then the light changes, or they don't.
Right.
And so the intention behind it is for our kind of like pitch to be strong enough where it causes people to purchase.
Okay.
Okay. Then apparently after that, and I think this is where they start bringing in this Shark Tank element. We actually pitch to a celebrity investor or some sort of like investor that potentially can help us like secure funding, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Now, I don't know if this is primetime TV though. I don't know if this is, because it seems like Amazon is more of like it's a streaming service, right? Like I don't think they have like, but Shark Tank is on NBC.
Yeah, it happens.
Exactly.
Right.
So I don't know kind of like what type of element that is, but super curious as kind of like how this process is. Anyways, this is kind of like our, and I don't know if we're going to use this or not, but this is kind of like our exploration into what we are going to actually say.
Yes.
In our video. And they told us to not use professional equipment, but
we're going to do it anyway. So I think what we should do, Adam, is I think we should go kind of through all of these prompts that they have.
All right.
And then we'll just answer them back and forth and this is before we get to like time crunch and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that way we just kind of have an idea of like, what is it, what feels right. We just kind of feel it out a little bit. So, so the first thing they ask is with lots of energy, and that's all capitalized. So we got to be very, very energetic. Introduce yourselves. Tell us your full name, where you're from, the name of your product, and quickly tell us what does it do or what purpose does it serve.
That's our pitch for the Grit Conference.
Yeah. So I think like that's just like, hey, I'm Jim Walker,
and I'm Adam Tsang,
and this is the Whiskey Grail.
Wait.
Oh, sorry, I messed up. It's been a little while. Okay, hold on. Let's try that again.
Wait, I don't know if I'm right.
No. I think it's.
What do you remember?
I'm Jim Walker, and I'm Adam Tsang.
Yeah,
we've created the Whiskey Grail. You say that, and then I say we've redefined the whiskey drinking experience, or something like that. It's very close to that. So that I think right there is pretty much what it is.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So let's try it again. Hey, no, gross. Hold on. Hi, I'm Jim Walker.
And I'm Adam Tsang.
We're from Statesboro, Georgia, and we've discovered the Whiskey Grail.
We've redefined the way that whiskey is to be consumed.
Yes.
Or something along the lines of that.
That's pretty close. And then, so I guess like that's the purpose, right? Briefly tell us a little bit about yourself. Share a little backstory. What do you do for a living? What does your life look like? Are you single? Do you have a family, etc.? Share something interesting about you or your life. It's kind of personal.
I work.
Yeah.
I work all the freaking time.
Okay, well, Mr. Marketer, how do we spin that?
Huh?
How do we spin that?
I'm a passionate entrepreneur that is living out his dreams.
A little bit less nasally, I think.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, I mean, whatever.
Wait, so what does it say?
It says, briefly tell us a little bit about yourself. Share a little backstory. What do you do for a living? What does your life look like? Are you single? Do you have a family, etc.? Share something interesting about you or your life.
This is where I talk about, that's like towards the end of our Grit Conference where I introduce you and you introduce me.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
And what do I say about you?
I don't know.
I remember it was like...
It's kind of fluffy. I don't know. I think we just do this for ourselves in this one. I think it's weird if we do it for each other.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just going to be like, I'm a blacksmith.
Huh?
I'm a blacksmith. I hit stuff with a hammer.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you go.
Okay. So briefly tell us about yourself. What do I do for a living? I'm an automation engineer for...
Nerd!
Yeah! Burn! I'm a professional nerd. I'm an automation engineer for a couple different companies. What?
No, it's good.
Anyway, okay, I'm an automation engineer. That's what I do. I am single, I guess. I've been blacksmithing and woodworking and making things since I was a little kid, since I was about 12. So that's kind of fun. I make swords. I've made swords before. It's cool.
Yeah, that's way too long.
Too long? All right. Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of still feeling it out, right? So it's okay. So it is, what's it like? Maybe...
I'm a blacksmith.
I'm a blacksmith. Let's see. Brief test.
I feel like you should just talk about like... You think... Okay, so it asks for like a brief summary.
Okay, well, because it's gonna ask. It asks later about like how did you come up with this?
Okay,
right. So I don't want to get into that too much, right? Because it's like, tell us quickly tell us how you first came up with the idea. So like that's going to go into that later.
Okay.
Right. So I think for me, it's just like, I'm an automation engineer. I work all the time doing all kinds of different projects. I don't know. Share something interesting about your life.
Yo, my name is Adam Tsang. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have multiple businesses. I'm in restaurants and media production companies, a PR firm, as well as this project. And what I'm truly passionate is about building cool products as well as building amazing teams.
And I'm Jim Walker. I am an automation engineer, but I'm also a craftsperson. I've been blacksmithing since I was about 12 and woodworking for almost as long. My real big passion is making beautiful things with awesome people.
Brat.
Ba-dang! All right, cool. Next. Tell us what your product/invention is. Quickly tell us how you first came up with the idea and then why you invented it, created it. So I think that just rolls back to me then. And I want
to tell it.
You can tell it. All right,
No, you go first. You go first and I go after and we see which one's better.
Okay.
You want to go first or you want to go second?
I'm just going to snag I was going to just steal the grits.
Yeah. Go first.
The Whiskey Grail came into being when I had to create an extraordinary gift for a close family friend. And it was an anniversary gift, 50th anniversary wedding gift, and I couldn't find the right cups to make to go with this whiskey box that I had made for them. So I decided to make my own out of the charred white oak to mimic a bourbon barrel, because this Poppy was a big bourbon man, rest in peace. But he was a big bourbon man and he loved whiskey, so that was for him. And then I made a handful of them, and they sat around on a shelf for a while. I sold through most of them and then kept them around. And then Adam picks up the story.
Yeah, so, I'm entering the Fab Lab space at that point. Jim was the Fab Lab manager and kind of hanging out, like looking at the different stuff that he was creating. And I remember the moment that he brought out this big bin of like these wooden slats and then all of these wooden cups, and then he said, "These are for drinking bourbon." And I remember getting chills up and down my spine and thinking in the back of my head, oh my God, like this is it. And I saw something in the product that had been laying there for probably dormant for quite some time.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
And I immediately kind of like grabbed as many as I could, and I took it to my bourbon drinking friends, because at that point I wasn't as well versed in bourbon as maybe some of the other people. And from there it was just I asked every single person, can you tell a difference between drinking out of this bourbon like glass versus the Grail? At that point it hadn't even been named.
That's true.
But that's kind of like the backstory there. Yeah. But does that answer the question? I thought it was more like, hey, this is a charred white oak drinking vessel scorched on the inside to mimic the environment that bourbon ages in.
That too.
Oh.
It's both.
Oh, it is?
I think so. It does ask like how you first came up with the idea, so I think we might want to condense the telling.
Yeah, I don't think it's super. I guess I need to find a cause, right? Like where like the Asian guy meets the white guy.
I just
as opposed
when we tried to give this to ChatGPT to just write our script for us, I just told it that we met because I was refinishing your tables at your restaurant.
What did ChatGPT say?
They just spit that exact thing back out.
That's a lame story, dude.
I don't know, man.
That's lame.
I don't know. It came in and it was like, this is cool. Anyway, what does the product mean to you? What does the Whiskey Grail mean to you, Adam?
To me, I think it represents the innovation that can happen in a small town.
Yeah.
And how much of a larger impact that a place like Statesboro can have, not across the United States, but in around the world. We are not bourbon country.
No.
Bourbon country is up in Kentucky,
Tennessee,
whiskey, like, that's kind of like the area where that is. But yet this product is birthed right here in Statesboro, Georgia. And I think that's what it means to me.
Absolutely. I think to me, the Whiskey Grail is really about this new synthesis of these ancient ideas, right? Charred cups have been around for millennia.
Have they?
They have, yeah. They're actually some of the oldest drinking vessels that exist within human beings, right? Because wood is so easy to work with. Right. I mean, that's the thing. And all you really need to do to make a cup is have a block of wood and a char. You can actually, and that's how these really initially, came out, was basically, you would take a char from the fire and then put it on the top of a block of wood. And using scraping and the fire, you could burn out the cup. And that's how they were initially made. So, the Whiskey Grail to me is it's this synthesis of these new applications and these really old, rich traditions that are all meeting in a new and exciting way, and that I've been able to have a part in bringing to life.
Super cool.
I think that's super cool. So that's what it means to me is this representation of the new and the old kind of synthesizing to make something awesome.
That's awesome.
So, what have you sacrificed to get this product invention made and brought to market?
Years off my life.
Yeah. Blood, sweat, and tears. And a lot of blood.
I think
not too much blood. Actually.
I think, this company has had its ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
We've had times when we've stacked up, 700, 800 grails and no end in sight.
Yep.
And something is interesting that always happens, and it's reassuring that we always find a way to move all that product. And even when it piles up, for whatever reason, something will hit, and then it's all gone. To the point where we're like, dude, we don't have enough.
Yeah. We should have been, doubling down.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we've sacrificed a lot of time and energy and, sleepless nights and, long hours. I've been up until 2 a.m. pretty regularly this past couple of months, I would say, trying to get our new workshop ready, trying to get our production back online after we've moved. So it's just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. There's no two ways about it. I think we've been pretty fortunate in that we've been able to kind of at least break even for the vast majority of our company's existence. We've really only had to inject capital at the initial onset of the business. True. We haven't had to put more into it monetarily. But we've always been able to kind of keep that in the green, which is good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Do your family and friends support you in this venture, or do they doubt your vision?
I think, this is interesting because one of the key components of the stipulations of the building is that this needs to start producing income for me, or else this is not something that we want to do.
Right.
I think that for the most part, I've felt nothing but support from my family.
Yeah.
They are, everything that I have done in my life, I attribute to the way that the opportunities that they've given me.
Right.
And so for me, it's not so much a, do you feel supported? It's honestly like how much I feel supported.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
How about for you?
Yeah, my family has been incredibly supportive. They think it's awesome. They've been, powerful, allies in terms of, just helping with, it's the same, right? Like it's, having these opportunities, having this, having my education, my upbringing, my ability to begin working with wood and metal when I was a kid, all that comes from my parents, right? And they've been incredibly supportive of this effort. They have not put the pressure on me, I gotta make money or I gotta get out, like yours have.
But I don't take that the wrong way, right? It's more along the lines of like, hey,
your dad's looking out for your best interest, right? That's what it is. Yeah. But please, don't let me put words in your mouth.
No, I think it's fine. I just don't want the audience to get it misconstrued.
Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
I think, ultimately, and this is something that we both have to realize. It's like up until this point, like we have not taken a draw from any of this, and we've been at it for 2.5 years.
Yeah,
which
so it's high time.
To be honest, like that is too long.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, like during this process, we kind of like, probably kicked the can down the road a few times. We leveraged like the facility, like quite a bit, and to get us there. But looking back on it, like could we have gotten there quicker? And that's the thing that I always ask myself is like, now we have kind of like this very steady thing, but we didn't realize that this was the path until this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, part of that just comes with experience.
Yeah.
Like we can look back and say, oh, we could have done this so much faster because now we know what we didn't know.
Yeah.
But you think we have to be a little careful about that because we didn't know at that point. But I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, my family's been wonderful about it. So, what obstacles and hardships have you had to face, or success have you achieved with your product/invention?
My mind always goes to when we were stacking up inventory when we weren't able to move it. Honestly, up until 3 to 4 months ago. We were about to have a very heavy conversation of like, hey, like, what is our exit strategy here?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we really kind of like find our stride in TikTok Shop. Shout out to Hunter and all the support that he's given us. Without that, I don't know how we could have continued. No,
I think it would have required like another injection of capital, and I don't think it would have really made sense, right? Because like the thing is, like we're about to have to go, to tune in our gentle listener to our plight. Like 2 months ago at this point. The Fab Lab, the renovations had been announced. We knew we were going to have to find a new space, and so we were looking for that. And we really need about 3,000, 4,000 square foot warehouse to be able to have enough space for Whiskey Grail and then also my equipment and stuff like this. So, and at that time, like we just didn't have the capital, right? Like the cash flow wasn't there, right? Because of sales and the production and the intersection between those two. So that's kind of where we were, and it was really this question of: are we going to try to float this along and hope that the sales come in the next couple of months? Or, is it time to just go ahead and shutter it, and sell off the rest of the inventory as we can and then just be done and cash out, right? So that was kind of the crux of the decision. Unfortunately, we had this, we hit the success, right? Like we figured out, with Hunter's help, how to leverage TikTok and TikTok Shop, and that helps push to our other platforms as well, to generate what to us was an unbelievable amount of sales. It went from, we couldn't sell enough and completely flipped it to now we can't produce enough. We're really struggling to produce to keep up.
Yeah.
And so now, the trouble, the challenge has flipped, where it used to be like I wasn't even worried about production, and now all we're worried about is production.
Yeah.
Okay. You must tell us what your product retails for.
$35.99.
Yes.
Thinking about increasing the price. We've actually, talked about that last night. But
we did.
At least currently it sells for $35.99.
Yep. Tell us in one succinct sentence, i.e., the blank retails for $9.99.
The whiskey,
or this can be yours for just $19.99.
The Whiskey Grail.
Or something similar.
All right, you want to do it?
No, you got it.
No, I don't want to do it anymore. I've already been interrupted 2 times.
The Whiskey Grail retails for
Actually, I want to do it.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No. I just had to get you back at least once.
No, that's fair.
No, okay, go ahead.
That. All right. The Whiskey Grail retails for $35.
You're terrible. How'd you get that wrong?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to our sales. The Whiskey Grail retails for $35.99.
Period.
Done. All right. That's part 1.
All right.
Part 2 is also on that page.
Okay.
For this portion, please stand and demonstrate your product.
We're not going to stand.
We're not going to stand.
Yeah.
If you can, create a little set. Let us see your product/invention on display, both in and out of packaging. If you have signage, please include that so we can see your product name, branding, etc.
We had that.
Maybe we can set up like the pop-up table that we use for so we'd have like the tablecloth.
The thing looks terrible.
Okay, fair point. We just want to use like a piece of plywood.
For what?
For a tabletop.
Like that I'm holding?
Yeah, we just have it on a platter. Like a silver platter, but it's a piece of plywood.
It should be a platform.
It should be. Yeah. We can screw down a piece of plywood to the window frame.
Do we have any platforms?
Oh, like the flights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't. Shut up. You're gonna have to make it. We all know what happens when Jim has to make something.
It just takes
We
forever.
won't get it until next December.
You'll get it when you need it. Anyway,
no, what I was saying was it would be cool if we had the wall.
Yeah.
Whiskey Grail wall.
I mean, we want to do that this weekend. That's kind of tight because we have to paint it white too.
No, we can make Nathan paint it white. For the viewers out there,
Nathan hates painting.
Yeah.
Nathan hates painting. He came up to me this morning when I came in. Not this morning, this afternoon when I came in. He was just like, I'm so tired of making cups, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's been doing it, like.
Ask him to paint.
So I was like, yeah, you want to.
Would you want to paint?
He was like, no.
I'll go right. I'll take my
cups. I'll make my grails any day of the week as long as I don't have to paint.
Is he doing okay?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's a little frustrated today just because people didn't show up on time or whatever, but that's very understandable.
Team, show up on time.
Yeah, please. Let's get it together. Come on, guys. Okay, but that aside, think of what your setup will look like on our set and try to create that. So I guess I need to watch an episode of this show.
I think it's basically like you have like a circular stage.
Okay.
And then you need to basically fill that stage.
The whole stage? How big's the stage?
I would say probably like the size of this room.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Like a 12 by 12.
No, that's easy. Okay.
But I guess we need to explore a little bit of kind of like what we want to put out there.
Yeah.
We could both be in gigantic wooden
barrels. We could like pop out of barrels.
That'd be sick.
That'd be kind of cool. We're just like, there's just 2 barrels on the stage and we just explode out of them. That'd be kind of fun.
How would you make the stage fly?
I don't know. Well, you don't want them to fly too far, right? So like, I think they're spring loaded, right?
They fly into the audience and then just
spear
knock
the
out
people in the front row. And there's blood splutters everywhere.
And then they press the button.
Exactly. It's
buy it now.
Buy it now, or we're gonna do it again. And that's exactly right. People are today. In today's day and age, people are all about positive power and like, oh, we want to convince you to buy our stuff. I'm like, no, if you don't buy our stuff, we'll just kill you. We're just gonna throw a barrel stave at you. We're gonna beat you with a stick until
I think that would be cool.
I think that'd be awesome, actually.
But the thing about it is, do we stay in the barrel?
No, I think we come out of the barrels. That or we're
so here's the thing.
Just wearing
how
the barrels.
What?
What?
That's actually the costume.
That's just costume. We're just wearing barrels.
This is getting out of hand.
Okay, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying, like, I mean, if this is like recorded and then we try to get out of the barrels and we fall out of the barrels, it's just hilarious. Terrible.
Well, that's why
you hear a single person,
bam!
a single person pressing like buy it now because they feel sorry for us.
Like, please pay our hospital bills. I think I think what it is, right, is like it's not just the top that pops up. It's actually like the barrel itself.
When
actually
are we going to make this?
We have until like February,
that's true.
Right? Like we've got all kinds of time. All I have to do is quit everything else that I'm doing, including working on our automation stuff, and we just build these barrels instead.
This is a terrible idea.
I think it's great.
Anyways, we need to work on the set.
We can have neoprint. What are the duo? The people we talked to earlier today.
Hatch Duo.
Hatch Duo. That's the.
What are they gonna do? Wait,
they're gonna build the barrels for us.
What?
Yeah.
Those barrels are gonna be so expensive, dude.
We only need 2 of them.
Yeah, that's true.
We actually don't. Yeah, no, it's fine. Anyway, we're getting off topic. We're getting distracted. Okay. So give us your 90-second pitch. This pitch should include the following. Tell us the name of your product. What purpose does it serve? What problem does it solve? Why is this a must-have, buy-it-now product? Demonstrate your product and its purpose. If it's a potato peeler, peel a potato. If it's workout equipment, let's see it in action and how you use it. So we're going to be drinking on stage. That's good.
I'm gonna be so red.
Do we? Well,
I don't want to do it. Should we just get slammed?
Just on stage.
Just like fill up like an
Fill
entire
up the
glass
whole
and
thing
just like let me. I was told to do this.
I was told to do this by the producers. We'll just blame it on what's her name? The lady we talked
Erica.
to? Erica. We'll blame it on Erica.
Shout out Erica.
Shout out Erica.
She sounds really nice.
She sounds really nice. She does, and she's
super helpful.
She's been great so far. So, I have it right here. It's I definitely knew your name, Erica.
All right, we got that.
Okay.
Are we done here?
So then it's demonstrate the product. Are you already selling? If so, where? What are your sales? Why should viewers purchase your product invention? So, it's the Whiskey Grail. It makes your drinking experience better. Let me show you we drink. This is how it changes the flavor, maybe. We talk about that. And then we're selling online and on social media, www.whiskeygrail.com, at Whiskey Grail on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And then why should viewers purchase your product invention? It's because it's fucking awesome.
You know what's funny? Like we have, how we had that initial podcast?
Yes.
In the room?
In this room.
Yeah.
But before
the same
it looked
room.
like this.
Before it looked like this.
Yes.
Right. I've gotten so many comments saying that it's a fake podcast.
What do you mean it's a fake podcast?
They're like, oh, you guys like filmed a fake podcast just to promote your product.
No. Well, that's just.
And I don't get that.
I don't understand. I mean, like, I didn't have time to do that. Like, I don't know. I think people are.
But
people
that's
people just look for stuff to hate. I mean,
well, no. I think that's the reality of it because
most people are just faking it.
And I think there's a lot of faking people.
It's true,
right? Like I think that's just kind of like a natural part of it.
Is that people just fake?
Well, because I mean, production quality. I mean, at this point, you could look the part without actually being the part, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, I get it, right? Like, I'm not like some like well-known podcast or like whatever it is, but like, I guess like their initial like in their mind, they're like, oh, well, they just filmed a podcast to promote their product.
Oh, so it's like whiskey. People have seen the Whiskey Grill, like on our Instagram or TikTok.
On our TikTok.
Okay.
Because right now that video,
parts of that
video that has me and you talking about what is the Whiskey Grill,
right?
That's at 1.1 million views.
Oh wow,
right now.
That's excellent. Okay.
That's our highest view video.
That's awesome. Okay, I don't do social media.
Yeah,
so
obviously,
just for our gentle listener.
But like with that said, I mean,
that's awesome. I mean, I think part of it maybe is just like, does it link back to the podcast?
It doesn't.
Okay.
So when people ask, I basically just drop it to them. I'm like, can we
link it in? Like,
no,
we can't.
Not
really.
Not in a very effective manner.
Okay.
So
fair enough. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I guess I get that because it's just like. No, I mean, I see that. I can see why they would think it's fake, right? Because it's just like us talking, right? Like we don't have we're not Joe Rogan over here.
I just shaved my head.
There you go. Maybe
Asian
that's
Joe
what
Rogan.
It is. Asian Joe Rogan. I think maybe that's what it is, right? We just have to get a cardboard cutout of Joe Rogan. We can use AI voice. We can use AI voice to have Joe Rogan. Did James?
No. Hunter sent me a video saying that this is a very popular way of advertising. In fact,
wild to me.
Hank,
gosh.
Who's the famous actor? Hank.
Oh, gee, what does he play?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Yeah, that's a famous actor.
He recently.
Forrest Gump, right?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump.
Well, the situation is this: there was a dental office that used his AI. Generated voice to promote him, and then he came out with the thing that said, "Hey, like
don't use
this is no, this is not me."
Oh, wow. Okay.
I am not promoting this. But it creates a very interesting juxtaposition now because, hey, like, how do you know if they are really standing behind it or not?
Are we going to go into another podcast about AI? Because last time we were on, I think we talked about ChatGPT.
I mean, we can talk about it. I think that's definitely something that is like interesting, and it's kind of like, you know, it's so fascinating the way that that's happening. Because I mean, for me,
because this is even just like what I mean, maybe less than a year since we talked about ChatGPT.
I don't know. Was it a year ago?
I don't even think it was that long ago. Because it wasn't. It was because it was during when we were talking about the Grits conference, and that was in January.
Yep.
So it's even less than a year. And like already, I think we've seen a huge like jump in the power of AI just from then.
So I can tell you, like on my end, you know, I run a PR agency and there's multiple different uses for it.
Yeah.
So number one, top one, probably generative for captions.
Yeah.
Like very heavy. Okay.
Can you actually feed it an image?
You can't. But there is technology coming out that does that.
Okay.
The other thing is like, you know, even photos. So if you needed like a hand in a specific place, or if you needed, you know, to create more like background or whatever it is, it has the ability to do that.
Okay.
And pretty efficiently. Although the problem that I see with it is it's interesting. Because every time it generates like 3 or 4 images.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, you're always curious as to if there's anything else better out there.
Right. Like what will it generate the next
Yes.
time? Yeah,
so it's almost like, I feel like it's
like gambling.
Tugging, yes.
Yeah, you're like gambling with AI.
Exactly.
That's
but
kinda
it's
cool.
but what you're trading in is time.
Right. And
Right?
money, right? Because
Exactly.
you have to pay for them. Right? Is it
not like that? So
Okay.
the version I'm talking about is on. You do have to pay for like Adobe.
Okay.
But I'm subscribed to like a monthly subscription, and then that leads to a beta version of Photoshop that gives you these tools called generative fill.
Okay.
And generative fill is the one that is able to do those things.
Yeah. That'll like do backgrounds and stuff like that.
Exactly. And that technology is probably some of the best. I've also played around with Midjourney.
Yep.
Which is you give it prompts. So if you wanted to say / imagine basically like a carrot riding a bunny in a field of like whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
It's able to take those words and produce at least something. You could do it in the style of a famous artist, and it's able to kind of like execute on that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff.
But I mean, that's kind of like, you know, what the current state of it is. Regardless, I think our main topic at hand is,
we should probably get back to what we're doing.
Is there anything else? I think we're done.
Oh, do we want to try our pitch? Like, do we want to try to do that organically, or I just kind of like?
I think we should be all right.
Okay.
I mean, we can probably write something down.
Yeah, I think. Can you give me like a transcript of this? Is that a thing that we can do?
That's just something called the script. Yeah. So after we basically shoot the podcast, I'm able to drop it into a platform, and AI. No, not ChatGPT, but AI basically goes in and transcribes every single word that we say.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great because then I can just steal what we just said and then edit it as we need to.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, of course. I actually, if you'll remember to the beginning of the episode, I hosted you this episode.
No, you did say that you were hosting me.
Thank
you so much for
listening.
This has been the
It's been an
amazing
podcast.
time. I'm so grateful. I'm inspired by the time that you spend on Whiskey Grail and all the things that you do. This would not be possible without you being here. So,
well, thank you so much, Adam.
I won that. And
again, it would not be possible without you.
No, because so thankful.
Of course, you are Adam Tsang. So, you know, it'd be very hard for me to host the Adam Tsang podcast without having my esteemed guest, Adam Tsang, on today.
Man, I should have turned on both the other two cams. That was a good one.
That's pretty fun.
All right, man.
We can just use AI to generate this camera angle.
No, we can't.
You can't? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay.
At least right now.
All right. Good night, gentle listener. Farewell.